So I'm taking a break from working on this motor. I think I found my problem, but I'm going to water my garden. I spent 6 months getting this boat ready for this trip. We're supposed to leave in February, but you know, a lot happened. But anyway, every day I water my garden. I got to be careful with my water, though. I got a issue with drainage. But I got potatoes in here. I got radishes. My beans are killing it. And pretty much bought this boat with the intent of going around the world. It was something my dad and I were going to do. He passed away, never got around to it. And anyway, my kid, Alex, my oldest boy, he when he was a little kid, when he was young, we were watching the Discovery Channel or something, and he saw the swimming lizards at the Galapagos Islands, and he wanted to go there and swim with the lizards. And you know, I thought that was cool. Seemed like a good goal for a little guy. And at this point, you know, he's getting big, and he's a teenager. He's angry at me because of this divorce. My kids were put in an awful position, at which point, for the sake of them, I bowed out, because they didn't need to be in the middle of this fight between mom and me. You know, people do some crazy stuff, I guess, when they're angry at you. But anyway, it's a 4-bedroom boat, so each kid's got a room when they want to come. Got another one over there, and then another bedroom down in there. It's kind of where I'm hanging out these days. And then I got another side over there on the other side, which is kind of turned into my utility room. And I figured out the problem with my carburetor. I'm cleaning it, but I'm just taking a break. Anyway, I picked up these solar panels from West Marine. They're all right. So I got some solar charge, which runs my fridge, which I bought the guts of a fridge and installed it. And there's like my battery compartment and an inverter. And I got my charger going right now, charging, because there's no sun. And the wind feels like it finally switched direction. It's been like 3 days, it's been blowing in my face. But anyway, I tore off this carburetor on this pig here, and there's a ton of debris in it. But anyway, I can't catch a fish to save my life. I threw in my shrimp pot and my crab pot, can't catch a crab. And 5 non-running motors. Life is pretty awesome. I like a challenge. Haven't seen any of the whales out today. Didn't realize it was Sunday until like a while ago. But I had to siphon some gas out of that container to put into this little one here, and they drank some gas. So it kind of tasted like crap. But I think in about an hour, should have that carburetor cleaned, and maybe get this thing running tonight, which would be pretty epic. But I gotta find a container so I can give it a gas bath, and I gotta find a brush to clean it. So, but anyway, yeah, I decided to water my garden, and I gotta clean up some more. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day if I can get this thing going. I'm gonna be at sea for, depends on the winds, up to 30 hours, which is a long night, long day. But that's what happens when you're sailing solo. I don't have an autopilot, so it's pretty physically demanding. I don't know, it'd be cool to have a couple people. 3's about perfect for the size of this boat and for the ship that you got to run. Also have a compost pile here which actually produces water. This was Drew's idea. I had a nice glass cover for it, but I broke it and some big waves. And but it makes water. It's crazy. And I'm also making dirt. And so I compost all my food that I don't eat that goes bad or whatever, and I throw it in here, and then because of osmosis it produces water. You got all these little it's pretty amazing. And yeah, it's kind of, that's something that could actually save your life if you run out of water. And I take the water that it produces and I feed my plants with it, which is cool. I haven't tried to desalinate salt water with it yet, but I think I will. And yeah, I got to get my rear deck cleaned up. It's a total mess. But I'm going to throw this lettuce in there to compost. And hopefully I can catch a fish. Oh yeah, a new lure I put on. And but first I'm gonna get this motor going. I gotta get it going. I'm so sick and tired of not having a running motor and being at the mercy of the wind. And if I can't get it going, I just gotta wait till the winds change. And that just is what it is. So, but once I get going, I'm not stopping until I get to San Luis Obispo. And that's on my charts here. I think it's here's my next sail. I'm right here at San Simeon, and if I can get the motor going, I'll go in here to Morro Bay. Okay, but I can't go in there without a motor. Anyway, in that event, I'm going to go here to San Luis Obispo Bay, and I'm going to anchor out right there. And then I got to hang 10 till I need to make a little bit of money. But my next pass is Point Conception, right here. And that's one of the big 4 on the West Coast. And everyone says hit it at midnight because of the winds. And I've had everybody tell me to be way offshore. But a local guy said, no, I'll come around Point Arguello. And he said, stay like 2 miles off and you'll get around it in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But he said hit it at midnight. But this is high shipping traffic here and Navy stuff going on, and the boats are big. I had a cargo ship almost run me over in the dark the other night. He came right at me, and those guys are pretty much unguided missiles, man. Computers are running those boats, so whenever you see a cargo ship, you can't take for granted that somebody's at the helm. They pretty much own the water, so you get out of their way or die, because some of those ships are like 1,000 feet long. But anyway, so that's my next sail. I'm going to say that's like 30 miles, 35 miles to San Luis Obispo. It's probably more. But Morro Bay is like a day sail, maybe half a day. And I got a buddy who's got a boat there. maybe he could put me to work, do some work on his boat for him. That'd be Dave Chamberlain, bro. Anyway, that's kind of where it's at right now. So I'm gonna get back to this carburetor and just pray that it fires up.